ladies and gentlemen, my name is Isaac, and today we're going to review a 1970 movie that's considered to be one of the greatest war movies and also one of the greatest war biographies in all time. And the name is Patton. And if you guys are unfamiliar with this movie talks about a World War II general by the name of George S. Patton. So this is an image of George S. Patton in his military uniform. So a little bit of info about him. His family are either part of the political parties or part of the military family. So overall, there's no wonder that George S. Patton really wanted to be involved in the military. So he decided to sign up towards West Point, which is considered to be one of the greatest naval academies in the history of America. And he really did a good job. He's also a good shooter. In fact, he really trained himself to be part of the Olympic team back in somewhere like during the 1910s or 20s. Unfortunately, he didn't win bronze, nor silver, nor gold. So he landed somewhere in 8th place. But nevertheless, many people say he's really good at shooting, so don't mess with him. So, yep, he's really a guy who really knows what he's doing, even though he is a controversial figure, but he does play a role throughout World War II. Here's George S. Patton again with his accolades, and also in the background is the American flag. One fact about this sequence is that this never happened in real life. In fact, it was taken from a picture of George Patton with all his accolades. His wife took the picture of him outside of his house, so the directors, the producers, and writers thought it was a good idea to put this into the film, even though it's not accurate. But I still love it because I can see all of his medals, also the ribbons, all the awards that he was given throughout his career. So I really like Patton because it really shows the patriotism and also the achievements of Patton, and he really cared about his troops. He even stated that if I die, I like to be buried with my soldiers that fought with me who have passed away. And it's really like encouragement for him because he really cares about his troops. He really considers them to be part of his family. Well, despite all this, he is considered to be a soldier who really has issues, even when he became to a general. So now let's talk about the controversies. George S. Patton is nothing without controversy. One of the most infamous moments throughout his career is slapping soldiers, like in this scene where he slapped a shell-shocked soldier. So before PTSD, they call it shell shock, and this soldier is just being nervous because he doesn't want to fight and nor he doesn't want to die. And then Patton says, "What's the matter with you? I don't like cowards just like you in the army." So he slapped him, and this was controversial because no general had ever done this before, and it made national headlines. And Dwight Eisenhower, who was in charge of the European continent campaign, he really told Patton to apologize to the troop who he smacked him. So he did, but it's not the first time he caused a controversy. I remember that he really doesn't like black soldiers fighting for Americans. He even says the N-word. He also didn't like the Russians because he felt that the Russians are the enemies, not the Nazis. In fact, he even gives some sympathy towards Nazis, which the Americans didn't like it. And in fact, it's a big no-no at the time, especially today. So yeah, George Patton really knows how to cause controversy, but when all said and done, Eisenhower did not punish him by kicking him out. He felt like Patton really played a good role for World War II, so he decided to put on probation and have him just sit in the sidelines. So that's all what they can do, you know. Now I'm going to talk about the positive things about this movie. First off, I really love the directing and also love the writing, especially the involvement of Francis Ford Coppola. Yes, at the time, Francis Ford Coppola is mostly known as a writer, and he wasn't unknown as a director at the time. And he gives credit to Patton for giving him this career jumpstart, because if it wasn't for the script, then Francis Ford Coppola would have been fired from The Godfather, and projects like the sequel to The Godfather, The Conversation, and Apocalypse Now wouldn't have never happened. So I understand why people, especially myself, really love the script because it's unique. It really shows the good and bad perspective of Patton. So overall, I give Francis Ford Coppola my biggest applause because he really did an amazing job, and without the script and without his involvement, Patton would have been a disaster, probably a box office failure and disappointment. So thank you, Francis. Another interesting thing that I really love about this movie is the performance of George C. Scott. He really played as General Patton really well, and I have to give him props for that. He really has the physical appearance as him. I mean, he acts as the characteristics as many historians and also veterans will depict Patton as. I know some people are a little discredited towards his performance, like how he talks, because the real Patton really has a high-pitched voice, but nevertheless, many people, especially the veterans and the critics, really loved the performance. Unfortunately, he declined to get the Oscar for Best Actor because he felt like it's kind of like a meat factory competition, or in other words, he felt like his award shouldn't be used for competition or against other actors. So I don't blame him for denying the Oscar, but he should have gained credit for this movie because it made him a valuable star. There's nothing bad about this movie, it's just that some of the inaccuracies that's one of the main issue, but overall, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. It really deserves a score because I really love the performances, the writing, the directing, the visual effects, everything that the production have really put effort into this film. And I was really surprised that this movie was a favorite for Richard Nixon because, according to one legend, Richard Nixon was so drunk that he watched Patton all over again because it really influences his key role towards the Vietnam War. And yes, this movie was made during a time where the Vietnam War is becoming to be an unpopular war. So Richard Nixon really wants to gain the influence of this movie to show that America is not a winner. I mean, there are a winner, sorry. I misinterpret that is as that Americans love a winner and they don't tolerate a loser. And I really think that that's what Richard Nixon wants. He wants America to win against Vietnam, just like the Americans when they defeated the Nazis and also Japanese and the Italians. So overall, it's a good movie. You should see it. It's once in a lifetime opportunity. It's really classic. I know it's a little bit simple, but it's really interesting, especially if you like U.S. history and World War II. So check it out. Thank you guys for watching this recent video. If you'd like to check more, just look at my page and you'll find lots of videos. They're mostly old, but they're really interesting to watch. So overall, thank you so much and have a nice day. Thanks.